Russia has accused Ukraine of trying to assassinate President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin has further said that Russia reserves the right to retaliate. Kyiv has denied the accusation. It said that the Kremlin will use this incident as a pretext to launch new attacks in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has paid a surprise visit to the Netherlands. He's expected to meet Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte. Ahead of this, Zelensky visited Finland. He participated in a summit gathering of the leaders of the 5 Nordic nations. Zelensky reiterated his case for Ukraine to join NATO. NATO is planning to open a liaison office in Japan. This will be the first office in Asia to facilitate consultations in the region. The liaison office aims to facilitate discussions with NATO's security partners, including South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The office is due to open next year in Tokyo. India is all set to host the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa. The Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has already arrived to take stock of the preparations. Russian Foreign Minister has also arrived for the summit, while the Chinese Foreign Minister will be arriving soon. Their visit is expected to lay the groundwork for President Xi and President Putin's India visit, which is scheduled for early July. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari will also be reaching Goa. China and Myanmar have agreed to deepen cooperation in various fields to promote development. This happened during the Chinese Foreign Minister's trip to Myanmar. China said that it respects Myanmar's sovereignty and territorial integrity. China has also said that it will implement aid projects in Myanmar to improve people's livelihood. The delivery of Lockheed Martin Corps F-16 fighter jets from the US to Taiwan has been delayed due to supply chain disruptions. Taiwan's defense minister has said that the island has asked the US to make up for deficiencies. In 2019, the US approved the sale of the F-16Vs to Taiwan. Yesterday's mass shooting at a school in Serbia's Belgrade was pre-planned by the 13-year-old shooter. Authorities say that the boy used 2 handguns that belonged to his father. He also apparently had a quote-unquote kill list. A student who claimed to know the shooter said that he was silent, appeared nice, and had good grades. Police said the boy had confessed to the shooting and was under arrest. 9 people, including 8 students and a security guard, were killed. Shootings are rare in Serbia. The country has strict gun laws. Meanwhile, another shooting has taken place in the US, this time in the state of Georgia. The shooting happened at a medical facility. 1 person was killed and 3 were injured. Authorities arrested the suspect after an 8-hour-long chaotic manhunt. The suspect is a 24-year-old former Coast Guard. Former US President Donald Trump has denied rape allegations leveled against him by American journalist E. Jean Carroll. Trump made the statement in front of a Manhattan federal jury via a video message. The civil lawsuit accuses Trump of raping Carroll in the mid-1990s and then tarnishing her reputation by claiming that the allegation was a lie. Hundreds of migrants made their way to an immigration station at Mexico's southern border. They demanded documents that would allow them free transit through the country. Desperate migrants forcibly tried to get ahead in line to obtain the document. They will use the transit documents to make their way to the US. Even if they fail to get into the US, the transit documents will help them. Under the Title 42 policy, Mexico has been accepting migrants with transit documents who are deported from the US. The InterAmerican Commission on Human Rights claims that Peru's security forces committed alarming human rights violations in the country. They claim that this happened during anti-government protests in Peru. The human rights body has called the response of security forces a massacre. Peru's government has rejected these allegations. A protest broke out in Hungary against a new law. The law aims to eliminate teachers' public servant status. Protesters fear that the legislation would increase teachers' workload. The protest was held right outside Prime Minister Viktor Orban's office. Hungarian police used tear gas on teen protesters and detained 5 people. This is the latest in a series of demonstrations held over the past year to demand better working conditions for teachers. Brazilian police have raided the house of former President Jair Bolsonaro. 2 of his personal aides have been arrested. This was part of an investigation into falsified COVID-19 vaccination records. Bolsonaro vowed to never get vaccinated against COVID-19. However, his health records say that he has been vaccinated. Parallel investigations are on into alleged voter suppression and attacks on the legitimacy of the 2022 Brazil election. The defense minister of Burkina Faso has denounced what he calls an international coalition against his country. He has alleged that there had been violations of the country's airspace. The country's intelligence agency has said that the killing of civilians in April was carried out by fighters dressed as soldiers. A US aid agency is halting shipments to Ethiopia's Tigray region. This comes after it was found that humanitarian aid was sold in the local market. The US aid administrator said that the aid was intended for the people of Tigray suffering under famine-like conditions. Earlier, the World Food Programme had suspended its aid deliveries to the region. This happened amid an investigation into the theft of food products. Heavy rains have triggered floods and landslides in the East African nations of Rwanda and Uganda. At least 129 people have been killed in Rwanda and 6 in Uganda. The governor of Rwanda's western province has said that the banks of the river Serbia have burst. The 2 nations have been experiencing heavy rains since late March. Italy's Emilia-Romagna region witnessed torrential rains in the last 24 hours. It caused extensive flooding in the region. At least 2 people have been killed. The rains come after the region experienced drought for months. Around 400 rescue operations have been carried out. Rail services have been suspended in the region. Climate activists disrupted an annual general meeting of Barclays. Activists from Fossil Free London and Extinction Rebellion UK started demonstrating while shareholders were being addressed. They interrupted the meeting with a rendition of a song by the Spice Girls. Activists demonstrated against the burning of fossil fuels. The United Nations has said that the possibility of an El Nino weather phenomenon in the coming months has risen. The UN has warned that it could escalate higher global temperatures and set new heat records. There is a 60% chance that the El Nino would develop by the end of July. El Nino is a naturally occurring climate pattern associated with a rise in heat across the world. A new report has said that Australia may be engaged in over-mining. It says that the country could be digging up more critical minerals than necessary. The report's researcher said, and I quote, "Extracting these key transition materials will cause significant social and environmental damage if we don't manage it correctly." This comes as the government prepares a strategy to counter China's dominance of minerals. The World Bank's Board of Governors has elected Ajay Banga as the new president. Banga is an Indian-born finance and development expert. He had previously served as the CEO of MasterCard. Banga will shoulder the responsibility to revamp the bank's approach to climate change and other global crises. US-based bank PacWest Bancorp is exploring strategic options for its business. This could include a potential sale or raising capital for its operations. Media reports say that PacWest is hoping to avoid the fate of other regional lenders. In the past 2 months, US regulators have taken over 3 US regional banks. It's widely seen as the worst financial collapse since 2008. Financial giant Goldman Sachs has reportedly named Kim Posnett as head of its TMT investment banking group. As the TMT head, she will oversee deals in the areas of technology, media, and telecommunications. Posnett had joined Goldman in 2005. She has served in various capacities ever since. Her appointment comes as the bank undertakes a broad shake-up within its ranks. The US Federal Reserve has raised its benchmark interest rates by 25 basis points. This has put the rates within the range of 5 to 5.25%. The move was widely expected by analysts and the financial market. Fed President Jerome Powell also said that the central bank now expects a mild recession. However, he said that they can work to avoid it. Powell said, and I quote, "The case of avoiding a recession, in my view, is more likely than that of having a recession." An investment firm led by billionaire Stephen Deckhoff has bought 2 private islands in the US Virgin Islands. Stephen Deckhoff is the founder of the private equity firm Black Diamond Capital Management. These islands were previously owned by late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. They were reportedly purchased for $60 million. This is less than half their initial asking price. The US antitrust watchdog has suggested banning Meta from monetizing the data of underage users. It has accused Meta of misleading parents about the company's protection for children. Minors were reportedly found to be able to engage in chats over the Messenger Kids app that were not vetted by parents. This is despite promising that parents could monitor all activity on the app. Meta also allegedly provided inaccurate information about app developers' access to users' private data. India-based IT and consulting firm Cognizant will reportedly lay off 3,500 employees. According to media reports, the company will also give up millions of square feet in office space to save costs. This comes after the company said that it foresees its revenues declining in 2023. Google and Meta have opposed a Canadian bill on internet news publishing. The bill would compel internet companies to pay Canadian news publishers for their content. They will have to either pay or remove news links found on Canadian search results. Both the companies have threatened to withdraw access to news articles if the legislation is passed. TikTok is reportedly launching a new ad product called Pulse Premiere. It will let advertisers place ads alongside content produced by its premium publishers. Half of the proceeds generated from these ads will be shared with those publishers. The ad product will be launched on May 4th. Brands like BuzzFeed, NBC Universal, and WWE will be the first to join. Britain's competition watchdog is reviewing Adobe's $20 billion buyout deal for Figma. Regulators are mulling whether the deal could hinder competition in the industry. Lately, regulators have shown concerns over large tech firms acquiring smaller rivals. They say such deals could throttle competition in the market. Just last week, UK's regulator also blocked Microsoft's acquisition of video game maker Activision Blizzard for similar reasons. Now over to the world of sports. In the ongoing IPL tournament, Mumbai Indians registered their fifth win in style. They defeated Punjab Kings by 6 wickets in a high-scoring thriller in Mohali on Wednesday. Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav added a match-winning 116 runs for MI in the huge 215-run chase. Ishan scored 75 of 41 balls before getting out to Arshdeep Singh. Surya Kumar scored 66 of 31 balls. Sunrisers Hyderabad will take on Kolkata Knight Riders this evening. It'll be at Hyderabad's Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium. SRH will look to continue their winning momentum, the momentum they achieved by defeating Delhi Capitals at the Arun Jaitley Stadium last Saturday. On the other hand, Kolkata Knight Riders have been able to win only 3 out of the 9 matches they've played so far. The match will begin at 7:30 p.m. IST. In football, Manchester City's Erling Haaland has broken the record for the most goals scored in a single Premier League season on Wednesday. This was during Man City's 3-0 rout of West Ham last night. The Norwegian goal machine's chipped finish from a Jack Grealish pass in the 70th minute took him to 35 goals. With the crucial goal, Haaland is now past the record he had shared with EPL legends Alan Shearer and Andy Cole. Both Shearer and Cole set their tallies in 42-game seasons though. Haaland has 5 more games to extend the record. Spanish giants Real Madrid are closing in on signing highly touted Borussia Dortmund and English midfielder Jude Bellingham. Negotiations are set to be in advanced stages. 19-year-old Bellingham is already seen as one of the most talented players in world football. England's Manchester City are also interested in signing the teenager. Manchester United's manager Erik ten Hag has said that the Red Devils cannot afford to become complacent. Ten Hag's comments come as the club is looking to end their campaign by securing a spot in next season's Champions League. United are 4th in the Premier League table at present. They are 7 points ahead of 5th-placed Liverpool, who have played a game more. Ten Hag's team still have 6 league games left. Lionel Messi could resurrect his long-standing rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia. Messi is set to leave Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the current season. The 35-year-old is reportedly discussing a world record transfer with the Saudi government. According to media reports, the deal is pegged at a staggering $354 million per year. Napoli fans on Wednesday kept their smiles even after Lazio's win against Sassuolo delayed their celebrations for the Scudetto. The Naples team is on the brink of claiming their first Serie A title in 33 years. They will face Udinese on Thursday evening. It's a match that could put the brakes on Napoli's celebrations if they lose. In tennis, former US Open champion Emma Raducanu will miss the French Open and Wimbledon. She's recovering from surgery on her wrists and ankle. Raducanu withdrew from the Madrid Open last month, citing an injury to her right hand. Her withdrawal from Madrid will likely see her fall outside the top 100 in the WTA rankings for the first time since her stunning breakthrough in New York. Famed boxer Saul Canelo Alvarez says he's looking forward to fighting in front of his people. Alvarez's comments come as he returns to the ring on home soil in Mexico for the first time in 12 years on Saturday. This is to face his British challenger, John Ryder. Alvarez has 58 wins with 39 knockouts to his name and 2 draws and 2 losses. Meanwhile, Ryder has 32 wins with 18 knockouts and 5 losses. Former 100-meter world champion Tori Bowie has died at the age of 32. The cause of death has not yet been revealed by her family. The American was crowned world champion in 2017 and won 3 Olympic medals at the Rio Games in 2016. Bowie finished second in the 100 meters in Rio behind Jamaica's Elaine Thompson. She went on to win the World Championships in London a year later. May the 4th is a day dedicated to the sci-fi film franchise Star Wars. The date is inspired by the franchise's tagline, May the Force be with you. To add to the celebrations, streamer Disney Plus has announced 2 new Star Wars shows. The new shows are titled Star Wars Visions Volume 2 and Young Jedi Adventures. They'll begin streaming today. The much-awaited trailer of sci-fi film Dune Part 2 is out. The second part is reportedly more action-packed than its predecessor. It's touted as an epic war film. Actors Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya return for the sequel of the 2021 film. Dune Part 2 will release on the 3rd of November. The Writers Guild of America strike has affected many on-air shows. Celebrity sketch show Saturday Night Live has called off its 6th of May episode. Reruns of the show will be aired instead of a new episode. Other hit shows like Abbott Elementary, Yellow Jackets, and Good Omens have also been halted. The writers' strike began on the 2nd of May. The writers are demanding better compensation. Hollywood A-listers have come out in support of the Writers Guild of America's strike. Rapper Snoop Dogg has expressed his concern over the streaming models. He said that despite the huge number of streams, there is no money. Producer Shonda Rhimes has also spoken up for the writers. She said that the writers being unable to make livable wages is a big problem. Fantasy drama series Sweet Tooth has been renewed for a 3rd and final season. The television show is based on the DC Comics title of the same name. The production for the final season has been completed in New Zealand. The show will stream on Netflix. Actor Michael Douglas will be given an honorary Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. He'll receive the Lifetime Achievement Honor for his brilliant career as well as his engagement for cinema. The award ceremony will take place on the opening day of the festival on the 16th of May. Actor Jamie Foxx has released his first statement since his sudden hospitalization in April. Foxx posted a public statement on Instagram which read, "Appreciate all the love, feeling blessed." It was earlier reported that the 55-year-old actor suffered a stroke while shooting for a film in Atlanta in the US. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its class of 2023. Singers George Michael and Sheryl Crow are among the 13 new inductees. Veteran country music legend Willie Nelson is also on the list. The induction ceremony and concert will take place on the 3rd of November in the US. Rock band Aerosmith have announced their farewell tour. The final tour will begin on the 2nd of September. The 40-day North American tour will kick off in Philadelphia. The final show will take place in Montreal in Canada on the 26th of January. Singer Ed Sheeran's copyright trial has reached its final stage. A New York jury will now give the verdict in Sheeran's copyright trial. Sheeran's lawyer urged the jury to reject the lawsuit in the closing arguments. The British singer was sued for allegedly plagiarizing Marvin Gaye's 1973 song, Let's Get It On.